Yo, 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 football fans. It's Monday, which means it is officially football week on the Big D podcast. Before I bring in the night's special guest, please subscribe, like, and share the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. We can see all my content: football, UFC, soccer, baseball, golf, NASCAR. We've got it all for you. Also, check out the Big D podcast for all your audio fans on Spotify and Apple. So, with the shirt and with the cup means only one thing. Joining us from Duval County to talk all things Jacksonville Jaguars is my friend and co-host of the Full Press Fantasy Podcast and writer for Full Press coverage on the Jaguars, Brad Harvin. Brad,
Hey,
is are you excited for this football season to start this week or what?
I definitely am. It's I mean, we got a little taste of it Saturday night with the college guys banging some heads together. But yeah, I mean, it's right around the corner. Thursday night, we're ready to rock and roll. And Dylan, I'm just very thankful to have an opportunity to be back with you talking about my hometown team, the Jaguars.
Yeah, meow. So obviously with the Jaguars, the number one target this year will be Trevor Lawrence.
Sure.
I mean, there were some growing pains, few too many interceptions, but a lot of excitement. Great last game against the Colts.
Yeah.
Especially the first half with some unbelievable throws against a really good Indy defense. But what do you see Trevor doing in year two?
I look for him to definitely take a step forward. I think the coaching change is going to benefit him tremendously. Last season, of course, was an absolute joke. I mean, I for one was really hoping that Urban Meyer would bring his college winning ways to Jacksonville, but that certainly did not happen. He had trouble managing the team, staying out of his staying out of the bars and whatnot. But when it comes to Trevor, I mean, I definitely, you see the talents there. You see the arm strength. You see how he goes through his progressions. They still need to get a few more weapons for him. They did try to address that in the offseason with bringing in Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, and hopefully a resurgent Evan Ingram to try and bolster this offense. I mean, the 14, 15 points average that they had last year that's not going to cut it in today's NFL. They you want to get at least another touchdown up there, give your defense a chance to keep you in the game. So I'm excited about him. I mean, he's obviously a great fit here in Jacksonville. I know a lot of people think that Jacksonville is wasting his talent, but I think we're going to see something else, and he's going to be the franchise quarterback that everybody wanted to be. What are your thoughts on Trev?
I think Trevor's going to show why he was the number one pick in 2021 because Trevor's got size, arm strength, mobility, winning DNA. I think last year was a learning curve. I think Trevor Lawrence showed his maturity way more than that head coach did last year. But
Absolutely.
do the Jags have a number one receiver? I mean, you could argue whether Christian Kirk is the number one. They paid him like a number one,
Right.
but
They did.
we'll see what Kirk does. I mean, when you've got Kirk, Marvin Jones,
Mhm.
Zay Jones. I'm intrigued by what Evan Ingram does. I think the offensive line will be better this year. So hopefully Jackson can run the balls and Trevor's not getting killed every other play. But
Yeah.
I think Trevor will be better this year. And
Yeah.
I am excited to see what Trevor does in year two.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I mean, I think he learned a lot about the speed of the game last year. He learned from some mistakes. But I got to be honest with you, Dylan. I mean, I know it was preseason, but I took my son to that Steelers game, I guess a couple weeks ago, and for the first time in several years, I actually saw receivers running open for the Jaguars. I don't know if that has to do with their skill set or the coaching. Trevor did miss a few that first quarter. He missed Christian Kirk probably a couple times that would have been touchdowns, but Kirk looks like the true number one here. He was wide open all game. Trevor missed him a couple times. He still ended up with like 4 or 5 catches in the half, which is certainly nothing to shake the stick at. So I mean, that's got to feel positive for Jacksonville fans to kind of see that, because those receivers have been bottled up at the line of scrimmage, weren't able to get open for not just last year, but several years leading up to it. So maybe we got some new, veteran guys in there that know how to get away. I mean, certainly Kirk played alongside Larry Fitzgerald for a little while, even AJ Green and DeAndre Hopkins. So, I think maybe he picked up some tricks there. And hopefully he's, teaching some of the younger guys as well on how to get open. So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely a positive in my mind. But I think also another positive is that last year there was another first round pick that nobody really got a chance to see, and it was Trevor's college teammate, a guy who led the ACC in rushing, dangerous between the tackles, even more dangerous getting outside, and he can catch the ball, and that's Travis Etienne. So opportunity to get him back on the field. Looks like he's going to lead the charge right now, because Robinson's still coming back from injury. But how excited are you to see Travis Etienne on the field?
Very, because I saw Travis Etienne play a ton in college. I mean, if you could just keep Travis Etienne away from the Louisiana Superdome, Clemson was practically unbeatable. The only problem was, whether in college or now the NFL, Travis Etienne has either lost or sustained a major injury there.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, no, I'm very excited to see what he does in this offense. I mean, it's certainly a new wrinkle. I mean, I certainly don't want to label him as a Deebo Samuel role, but he could certainly go into that. I mean, he's probably going to run the ball a little bit more than Deebo will, but I think that kind of utilization, getting the ball to him quickly in space, so he has an opportunity to make defenders miss him. I think, and he's going to be able to utilize his speed, his vision to, really just make the plays happen. And one thing I noticed with Etienne in college at Clemson, it seemed like he always fell forward. He never really took the direct shot that kind of, moved him to the back. I mean, I see a lot of that with Derrick Henry too. I know we don't like to talk about Derrick Henry being Jaguar fans, but those guys, they seem to know how to take a hit and move forward, get the positive yardage. And I mean, it's very exciting to have him on the field. He's certainly going to be a weapon in the passing game.
Yeah, I mean, and in Doug Pederson offense, guess what? The running back's going to be involved in the passing game, and Travis Etienne was a huge receiving option at Clemson.
Absolutely. He's going to have to be accounted for.
Mm-hmm. Well, the good news for Jags fans is that Urban, whatever his name is not coaching the team. We've got a former Eagles Super Bowl winning coach, Doug Pederson, in Duval County. So how do you think Doug Pederson will do leading Trevor? Because he's won a Super Bowl, but the end of his stay in Philadelphia did not go well. So
I think, Pederson was certainly my pick from the beginning when the coaching search went on. Sure, it would have been nice to have Byron Leftwich come back home to where he played and coached, but to have the opportunity to have like you said, a Super Bowl winning head coach coming to town, and just the professionalism that he brings to the table in the press conferences and the team meetings, everything. It's night and day from what we heard last year. There's no more there's no more cameos on AEW wrestling. There's none of that. Those shenanigans that Urban Meyer was part of last year to try and get out there. I mean, Peterson's here to make a difference. He has a toy. He has a brand new toy in Doug Pederson. I believe it's going to be the best quarterback he's coached under him. I mean, when you look at Wentz and Nick Foles, I mean, he had Wentz headed towards a MVP season before he got hurt for that Super Bowl season. So I mean, I think that it sounds like Lawrence is responding to him, understands the offense, understands what's expected of him, which is something that certainly didn't happen last year. There was a lot on his shoulders as a rookie. So I mean, I think Peterson coming in at a good time with a new young offensive coordinator, Press Taylor, who is Zach Taylor's younger brother of the Cincinnati Bengals. So this is his first opportunity to be the offensive coordinator. He obviously comes in with a fresh start and he's making things happen, getting the ball down the field. I think what Jacksonville needs to do is not focus on the big plays, but focus on those first downs, convert those third and fours that they were not getting last year, to extend drives, extend plays, keep the offense on the field. Because I mean the defense, sure, they're not great statistically, but they were on the field for a long time last year. They could never get off the field offensively, and that by the middle of the fourth quarter, the opponent was just able to just run it down their throat, and I mean they were beating a bunch of guys. So I'm hoping that Peterson brings his professionalism, his winning attitude to Jacksonville.
Yeah, and also having the guy who played the quarterback position in the NFL helps, because
Absolutely.
Peterson will know what Trevor Etienne is saying. Hey, the safety's coming here. Maybe I need to go here, or the linebacker's coming here, or not coming on the blitz.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's certainly a benefit to have someone who's played the role for many a year in the NFL, and they've been around plenty of locker rooms. Peterson's able to get his system, get his culture in, and I know that's a popular word around the league, but I do think that that means something. That was something that Meyer certainly struggled to do last year, and really became the laughingstock of the league down here in Jacksonville. We're looking to turn that around down here.
All righty, so with everybody doing fantasy football drafts, either this past weekend or early this week,
Sure.
the big question would be, if you got the number one pick in your fantasy football league, who would you take?
Well, it would kind of depend on the league. If it was a standard scoring, real touchdown heavy, didn't really get extra points for any kind of receptions or anything, I would lean towards Jonathan Taylor. Otherwise, in a half point PPR or a full point PPR, which basically means you get a half point or a full point for reception, that's going to come in handy with one of those receivers one of those running backs that catch the ball. And there's no better one in the league when he's on the field than Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he is the absolute focal point for the Carolina Panthers. He does everything there. Certainly glad for his sake and for fantasy owners who have Christian McCaffrey that Baker Mayfield has taken over and won the job in Carolina. We all knew it was going to happen. Kind of helped the situation with Darnold getting hurt a little bit there, but I think having a competent quarterback back there, and if McCaffrey can stay healthy, that's always a big if when it comes to him. If I was drafted number one in a PPR league, I would lean towards him, instead of Jonathan Taylor, which might not be the biggest, which which probably isn't what most people would do, is probably in the minority. I mean, Taylor's fantastic. He certainly catches his, fair share of passes. However, I think McCaffrey, he's going to get upwards of 20 to 25 touches a game, possibly even more. I mean, the offense revolves around him. He's certainly dynamic with the ball in his hands. Carolina will find opportunities to get him the ball in space and make him make some things happen. He has little to no competition behind him. He's not looking over his shoulder or anything, and those passes are going to mount up because I think Carolina's going to be playing from behind a lot the majority of the season. Possibly not that first game because it's a little bit of a revenge game against Cleveland, if I remember right. I think those two are going at it in week 1, so. That certainly be something that I'm sure Baker Mayfield has had circled on his calendar for a while. So to answer your question, it would be McCaffrey, which I know is probably not popular. Do you have one in mind?
It would be Christian McCaffrey, and I wouldn't even think about it.
All right.
I wouldn't even think about it because I don't mind taking risks with Christian McCaffrey. I mean, last year in a Yahoo draft, guess who got the number 1 pick?
Big game. Yep.
And I drafted Christian McCaffrey, and we all know how that went. And yet I somehow won the league. I don't mind taking risks with Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, the injury history, but he hasn't suffered any knee injuries. And I feel like with McCaffrey, especially when Matt Rule was on the hot seat, you're going to want McCaffrey to touch the ball as many times as possible. So, yes, John Taylor is the focal point of Indy's offense, but he's not a PPR running back. Christian McCaffrey is a PPR running back, and especially if it's half a full point, give me all the CMC.
Absolutely, yeah, I'm right with you. Yeah, jump in the boat. I mean, like I said, it's not really a huge popular opinion. I've certainly seen more people on Twitter and whatnot kind of maybe lean a little bit more towards McCaffrey. But I got to be honest, I've been in 6 or 7 redraft leagues already, and it's always Jonathan Taylor. I mean, who's obviously a special running back in a good system in a great conference, get to play the Jaguars twice and Houston twice. I mean, that's certainly beneficial for any player. But yeah, for my money, I'm taking Christian McCaffrey at number 1.
All right, you know me, I am a trivia nerd, so I tried to find a question that would be appropriate for regular season openers involving the Jaguars, and I've got one for you.
Okay.
Think back a quarter century to 1997. Who was the Jaguar quarterback when Jacksonville beat the Baltimore Ravens to open the 1997 season?
That could be a little tricky. I think I know who this is. I mean, a lot of people would think that it was Mark Brunell at the time because obviously he's the one that kind of helped them the last couple of years. Get one game away from the Super Bowl, even at a young league or young team in the league. But my answer is going to be Rob Johnson.
Dang it! Dang it!
Very good.
You are correct.
Okay, good. Yeah. And he came in there, was able to throw the ball around a little bit. I think close to 300 yards, if I remember right. And he actually kind of boosted himself up, and they were able to trade him. I don't know if it was that year or during the season or if it was the following year. I want to say he went to Buffalo, if I remember right.
Yeah, for a first round pick.
Kind of fizzled out after that, but yeah.
Hey, at least he started a playoff game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there you go.
The Music City Miracle against the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
And Bills fans are still yelling why Doug Flutie didn't start that game. Don't leave it at that.
Right.
So, where do you see the Jaguars? Where do you see the Jaguars finishing this season, record-wise?
I haven't actually gone through game by game. do the win-loss thing. I know they have a tough stretch right after their bye. I think they go out to the West Coast a few times. Got a couple West Coast games. They have the AFC West on their schedule. We all know, how tough that's going to be with the Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, and the Raiders. I mean, all high-powered offenses. But I do think the AFC South has a little bit of room this year. So I'm not thinking too high necessarily because of the lack of depth that they have, but they are trying to get to that level. I'm going to say last year they were 3-14. I'd say they double their wins and go 6-11.
You and I are about the same. I think the Jags can win 6 or 7 games. I'm sick and tired of getting number one picks, but this year the Jags are not going to get the number one overall pick.
Yeah, that'd be the trifecta for sure.
I think Jackson's better than Houston, the AFC South. I mean, you look at this schedule: Washington and Landover, then Indy, which never beats us in Jackson, but then at LA, at Philly in a revenge game, Houston, at Indy, and then Giants, but then one of the toughest stretches I can remember a Jags team playing: Denver and London, Vegas, at Kansas City, then Baltimore. Ouch.
That's rough. That
might be 0-4.
Yeah. Yeah, if they can muster a victory out of that, I would certainly be surprised.
Hey, at least then after that, at Detroit, at Tennessee, Dallas, at New York, at Houston, then Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I think there could be 6 or 7 wins. I mean, Philadelphia's the only team that sort of impressed me in the NFC least. Mm-hmm. I think the Jaguars have got a chance of being the Jets, and you look at it, I think the Jags could at worst split, if not sweep Houston, and then you look, Jags will probably win 1 or 2 other games because they somehow steal 1 or 2 a year. I mean, who saw the Buffalo win coming?
Right. No, I mean, and I mean, week 1, I mean, how great would it be for this city to get that win week 1, which is certainly winnable. Yes, it's on the road, but it's Washington. I mean, I don't foresee Washington being very, very formidable. I do see kind of a nasty game, nothing too exciting. I think Jacksonville is going to go in and be pretty conservative with it. I think Washington is going to be the same, kind of just jabbing a little bit both teams. But I mean, there's some question marks around the kicker, which could certainly sway a win or two one way or the other. But I mean, the Washington, it'd be great to start 1-0, but I mean, the way things have been going around here, it's hard to get too excited about that. But it's a new regime with Pederson at the head, and we're going to see how it all plays out.
Hey, I mean, Jacksonville started in 2020 with a W, and we saw that season exactly. Down the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they were supposed to win that one.
Hey, at least we can thank the Jets for winning a couple of games. Otherwise, we'd end up with, I don't know who we would have drafted with that number 2 pick a couple of years ago. But you can have Zach Wilson. We'll take Fabio.
Exactly.
Actually, do you remember? You might be old enough when Fabio was in his heyday.
Oh yeah. I remember some of his commercials and being on the covers of books and all that good stuff. Yep.
Yeah, my mother calls Trevor Lawrence Fabio because of his hair.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I still call him Sunshine every now and then from Remember the Titans back in the day. So.
Yeah, a Fabio and a Sunshine reference. What else would you get on this podcast?
Absolutely.
So thanks for hopping on, Brad. We know you're drafting 75 teams, so hopefully your drafting goes well, and hopefully the Jaguars show improvement, because I'm sick and tired of getting number one picks.
Yeah, it gets old. I mean, it was exciting the one time, but yeah, enough's enough. Let's go. Come on. This team's ready. This city's ready to erupt.